Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here, and you are welcome, my friends and my enemies. Welcome, come in, sit down. This is unprecedented news, boys and girls, and you in between. Kevin Tsujihara has been booted out of Warner Brothers. He is the CEO and chairman of Warner Brothers. Well, not anymore, because Warner Brothers have decided it's the best for the company if he steps down. This is not a temporary exit. This is not gardening leave. He's out. Bye-bye, Kev. You see, Kev, the reason you're leaving Warner Brothers isn't because you sexually harassed someone, even though that's very, very naughty, and you shouldn't be doing that, bad boy. But, Kev, the reason you've been sacked is because you fucked up too many movies, and Justice League was one movie too far, because the DCEU is so important to WB. They know the box office potential in it, and you fucked it up, right? You booted Zack Snyder out. Then when Joss Whedon came in, you got him to do some reshoots, write those reshoots, and pressured him to make the film under 2 hours. You destroyed that film, right? You destroyed the chance for your company to make maybe $1.5 to $2 billion. What did you expect? So now everyone to blame for Justice League is gone or removed or kind of, put in better positions within the company. But this guy is out. Let me read to you Warner Brothers' official statements. Because official statements are always funny, aren't they? Because they always sound so polite, but you know the undertones of them. So let's read. I'm really happy. It is in the best interest of Warner Media, Warner Brothers, our employees, and our partners for Kevin to step down as chairman and CEO of Warner Brothers. Warner Media's CEO John Stankey said in a statement on Monday, Kevin has contributed greatly to the studio's success over the past 25 years. And for that we thank him. Get out, mate. Anyway, Kevin acknowledges that his mistakes are inconsistent with the company's leadership expectations and could impact the company's ability to execute going forward. It was announced anyway, basically that's their statement. So to cut a long story short, so we can just analyse this and discuss this a little bit, they've got rid of him. Now, as I said to you just a minute ago, he's not out for this sexual harassment. I don't want to speak saying that gets me into trouble, but when a company wants to remove someone, and I'm talking about big companies, I'm talking about big companies, they find, because a CEO of a company isn't easy to remove. It isn't like going up to someone at McDonald's and saying, oi mate, get out, you're sacked, you nicked some money. No, because that's a very powerful position. And that's a situation you have to convince people, you have to convince shareholders or however Warner Brothers is run to boot him out, right? So you have to find a compelling reason to get rid of him. And sexual harassment, bit of a no-no, right? So he's gone. It's brilliant. So as I say, now everyone to blame for Justice League is either gone or kind of been put in other positions in the company. Jeff Johns is a great example. They didn't want to get rid of Jeff Johns because Jeff Johns, really, he's a good man. And he's a genius, and he's an iconic, legendary comic book guy. And they know he can write a story. So they've said to him, look, have a studio on us, have a production company on us. By all means, we want you to write and, write and create for the DCEU. We just don't want you running it because it's not your strength. So he wasn't totally responsible. He just wasn't a leader. But in terms of Tsujihara, he cost them everything because he's the one who removed Zack Snyder, made Zack Snyder's life a misery, brings Joss Whedon in and says, I want this film under 2 hours. So, of course, what Joss Whedon does, he makes it a minute, I think it was a minute under 2 hours. That's typical Joss Whedon trying to be a smart-ass, but Justice League was in 2017 now. It's well over a year ago. It's taken them that. Diane Nelson, now Kevin Tsujihara, all these people who they blame, the company blamed, are now out. But we've got to look at this fully. It's not just that this guy's gone. It's how they've decided to allow their other company, New Line Cinema, to run DC films. And to be honest with you, the way they're running it so far is genius. It is working. Aquaman worked on when Walter Hamada came in, right? A brilliant film, makes $1 billion, right? Over $1 billion. Shazam, genius. Is going to bring a new generation to watch the DCEU. Then they created the DC Black Label. First film later this year, Joker movie. Genius, genius, genius. Disney made the mistake of sacking James Gunn. What does Walter do? He goes and gets James Gunn to make a Suicide Squad movie. A Suicide Squad movie, apparently, that's a reboot. Let's see how that works. But it's not, as I said to you, it's not a big deal for Agent Waller just to go, do you know what? I don't like them. I want to build a new team. Boom, here's your mission. So it's not a reboot of the franchise. It's a reboot. They're basically saying those characters, as I say, as far as I know, Margot Robbie is involved, but we really don't know that for sure right now. So that will be really, really interesting. So the big news on this hour is that Kevin Tsujihara, former CEO and chairman of Warner Brothers, has been removed from his position and has now left the company. And what that means is you don't need to care, you don't need to know about the business talk, you don't need to hear about sexual harassments. This is the last person to be removed to blame for the failure of Justice League. And that, my friends, is why he's out. And see you tomorrow for tomorrow's edition of the DCEU Daily. And I can't wait to start gasbagging with you about what's going on, because by the time we wake up, who knows what breaking news we'll get.